I'm Dan Parks with CruzTOOLS at Winter NAMM 2016. Always a great time here. So what we do is we make tools for musicians, and they are aimed at the player. One of our goals really is actually to get players a little more tech savvy, so that guitar and bass players are doing their own basic setup, always having their guitar or bass in top playing condition. So in order to do that, you really need two things. One is the right tools, but the other thing you need is some know-how. So starting with the tools, for setup, you need things like hex wrenches, screwdrivers, measurement tools. In this case, it's a ruler. This is a thickness gauge, which, by the way, if you have an old MG, you can adjust the valves on that as well. String cutters. We have a capo, which isn't used for performance. It's just to free up a hand in conjunction with the thickness gauge to be able to check your neck before you make a truss rod adjustment. String winder. But in addition to that, you need the know-how, because not every musician is completely familiar with the setup process. In fact, it's a little intimidating. I know it was for me when I did my first truss rod adjustment. I was terrified to turn that truss rod nut. Turns out there's really nothing to it. But to help out in that regard, we include an easy setup guide with our tech kits. This is also available on our website at www.cruztools.com. And we have some setup videos that walk you through the setup process. So please feel free to visit our website to become setup savvy. So as far as our tech kits, we have this one, the blue pouch kits for guitar. We have its counterpart for bass, slightly different, but it is bass specific. And then for those that want to be more portable, we have our newer Stagehand Tech Kit. It provides all the capability of the larger kits, but it's smaller, more compact, and a little bit less expensive as well. Taking the miniaturization one even step further is our Groove Tech bass and guitar multi-tool. Like these other tech kits, it's got both inch and metric sizes. It's also got a ball in for all the truss rod sizes. And one small multi-tool packs a lot of capability. Whether you're just getting ready to go on stage, you got to do a last minute adjustment, you can do that. Also, our string cutters are so good. They're designed for guitar and bass strings, which are very hard steel, stainless or nickel. Easily cuts through the strings, and it's lifetime guaranteed like our other tools. Moving along here, we've got our jack and pot wrench. If you have those problems of those jack nuts coming loose, probably at the worst possible time, this is a good thing to have in your gig bag. And then finally, we have some specialty truss rod wrenches. This one here, I'll show here, it's designed for acoustic guitars where the truss rod is adjusted from within the sound hole. And this wrench has a ball end on it, and it makes it really easy to find that truss rod nut and make adjustments to your truss rod very quickly and without much grief, or without doing any damage to the guitar. And then the other type of truss rod wrench we have is aimed at the vintage style truss rod nut like this that you'd find on, say, an older Fender or a reproduction Fender. And these wrenches were made specifically for that. So that's our guitar tools in a nutshell. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. If you have any questions, go to CruzTOOLS.com.